What do 70s rock, 80s metal, and cheap Japanese guitars have in common? They've been there, done that. Well, Dunsys Guitar World has. I am Hello Sailor Joe. Welcome to the Pedal Dive Podcast. Today, my co-host is
John Mulholland, Space Wolf, as always. Greetings and salutations, fellow mutants.
And yes, I'm Dunsy from Dunsys Guitar World up here in Edinburgh, Scotland. So my apologies for if you cannot understand my English accent.
It's better than mine, mate.
Okay.
It's not as good as John's, though.
Hey.
So we've got some regulars in the chat, have we? I take it?
We do. We have some people that were waiting, anticipating, and baiting.
Hello to Dan Mincher and Craze Fandango. Hello, boys. Always in here first. Dave Lewis, Matthew Dunn, and Dave Barry.
And Craze Fandango, yes, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already.
There.
Yeah.
Always there with the sensibilities, isn't he? Cheers, guys. And today we're digging into a real good subject for me, and that is looking at guitars.
Especially Japanese guitars. Oh, I'm salivating. I am salivating. Those are some of my favorites.
Yeah. Do you know what I think? My bank hates Dunsy's show on YouTube.
It's like when you first buy a car, you think this is the greatest thing ever, and then it becomes a money pit. You just keep throwing money in, and you just keep. It's a slippery slope. So please send my apologies to your wife.
What is this wife thing you speak of? I had one of those once.
No, don't.
Once.
Yeah.
Like Joe Piscopo and Johnny Dangerously.
Craze Fandango says he's so sensible. Yeah, cheers, mate. and Dan Mincher says he's sat there playing a 74 Greco.
That's Grecos are beautiful.
It's like one of them natural finishes as well, isn't it? With the
is
big
it like
head.
is it like a Strat, like an SE 450 or something?
One of my favorite Les Pauls ever was 80s Greco that I owned. It was a set neck, and it had a chambered body. They took a plywood top and bent it into the shape. And so then the underneath was solid mahogany. So it had this chamber underneath it. And they did these amazing replicas of like 50s humbuckers. Like they had the microphony and everything. And I mean, it was one of those Les Paul killers. Like you could put it up against any vintage Les Paul and people would be like, man, I'll take this one.
Yeah. I think what they did, they took like a birch top. So they put a birch top over because you can when I'm looking at them, you can tell the ones that are the birch top because there's no center seam. It's just like a one-piece top over.
Yeah. And there was no figure on it. They did some of them that they put a maple laminate over. For the flame tops, but this was a plain top. It was.
I think I was watching one of them, but it was a dark best for the longest time, but it was on loads of different sellers on eBay, and I was like, I don't know, for different prices as well, which is
what that is. There's a shop in Japan that owns that guitar, and all these other people steal the photographs from that, and they put it on eBay, and then if you buy it from them, they'll buy it from the shop. That's why a lot of the eBay adverts will say may not be in stock if you win, because they don't own the guitar.
Okay, that makes total sense, and it also explains the different prices and stuff.
Yeah,
I think it was like an EC. I forget what it was. It might have been an EC 450 or something, 400. Not sure. Anyway, I've got my eye on one. It looks like a 335, but it's not. Split parallelogram inlays, Greco from the 70s. I think it's 78, and it's flamed on the top, flamed on the back, 3-piece neck, and it's about $2,000, I think. And I've been watching it for the longest time. I'm like, I don't want to love it, but I do.
Have the lawsuit headstock, like the Gibson headstock on it. Oh yeah.
But it's the old the split parallelogram. Split in there. I'm like, it would match this beautifully. Like, do I need it?
Yes, I mean, like if you're asking me, then you do need it because you need it to match that guitar there.
I know.
Yeah,
and it's in my head now.
If you don't buy it, you'd be crazy.
I know. Do Do you know why I got onto that? My father-in-law said to me, I'm thinking about buying a 335 because he's got like a Strat, he's got a Les Paul, just bought a telly. He's like, I need a semi-hollow to round my collection off. And I was like, I haven't got a semi-hollow. I can't. I've had 2 new guitar days like in 2 weeks.
The best things happen in threes.
Oh man, that makes so much sense.
I know.
If I give you my phone number, could you phone my wife? Just explain that in English.
No problem. I've got 101 great excuses for buying guitars.
Exactly. So bad. Oh, man. And of course, I've got to show this. The other new guitar day, I'm so happy with this. Check that bad boy out.
Yes, this is beautiful. That pinstriping on the bass, man.
Mate, offset telly. And the flame maple neck is just like, you can't really see it on the camera.
Work of art.
Yeah, mate. I've never played guitar so much as I have the past couple of weeks. In fact, I made my red telly, and then I got me Gibson, and then I've got me. Oh man, bad times. I need to stop.
Good times, Joe. Good times.
In between the last time we went live, I like really dug into bass deeply. I've got a Japanese body jazz bass that I put a Japanese blank neck on that I did all the finish and shaping and fret work and everything and the decal work. And I basically discovered like how long I could play feeling all right by both Joe Cocker and Traffic, like playing bass lines for either version. And coming up with stuff and getting lost, and suddenly I got blisters on my fingers. And so,
oh man,
yeah.
Oh, Bandit Cuba says that he got his 5150 half stack today.
Oh, sweet.
What are you doing on this stream now? I'm not playing guitar. Epic, mate. Epic. Do you know what? I went through my amp stage, and I'm just kind of like, I'm over it now. You know. What about you, Dunsy? You must have like a collection of amps.
I don't. I think so. I probably started playing in 1980, and I've owned about 11 amps in all that time. I've probably owned, hundreds of guitars. No, I got my first proper amp, like a good amp. I got a Marshall JCM 800 in about 84, and that was all I used until sort of the mid 90s. So I had 2 of them and 3 4x12s. That was all I used. I didn't.
Just that, not much.
Well, I mean, yeah, we had roadies, so and they were only 50-watt heads. They weren't hundreds. So so I used that, and then I sold them. I bought an AC30 and a Fender Twin, which I then used for about 10 years. And these days, the only amps I own are the Blackstar. The little red one, the Amp 2. So it's just a pedal board amp. So I've got that on the floor, and I've got a 1x12 cabinet which I run straight into the PA. I don't. Probably 75% of the gigs I've done in the last 10 years, I haven't taken an amp to a gig. I just use the backline.
So is that Blackstar like a digital preamp or analog preamp and a small valve power amp? Is that like the blue guitar one?
Well, I've got the blue guitar amp one as well. I think the Blackstar's the same. It's like a Class D power section.
Mm-hmm. Oh right, okay.
Digital. The blue guitar I think is a valve power amp.
Yeah, it's valve power and an analog like pedals front end.
Yeah.
I really like the blue guitar one. I thought it was
when I bought it.
Getting some reaction to digital yuck from Crazy Fandango.
When I got the blue guitar, I took it along to rehearsal, and the rehearsal space has Marshall 4x12. So I had used big Marshall heads through these, and I plugged it in, and I was absolutely blown away, but just by it sounded like a Marshall JCM 800, like as simple as that. No, I mean, if I couldn't tell the difference, nobody in the audience was going to be telling the difference.
Yeah. But it's all about your own feel as well. If it sounds good to you and you feel good playing it. But I used it like as a power amp, and I just in the effects return I plug in my Kingsley valve preamp, and it was just like the best amp ever in no space whatsoever.
It's just crazy. It's so powerful loud as well.
No, you to be fair, you had monitors giving you feedback of like what it was sounding like, right?
Yeah.
Like you were getting that. Now I've worked stages where people on stage are playing the show, and when you're backstage, they're using in-ear monitors. There is absolutely nothing on stage. It's dead quiet. All you're hearing is the drums, and they're usually behind like some sort of sound barrier, and then maybe the rattling of the strings acoustically and the sound echoing back off the back of the auditorium. It was insane. Like I was like, whoa, I could never like imagine playing a situation like that, because I want to feel the air moving me, or I want to like feel the air of the bass player moving me. I want the bass monitor to be right there as a drummer, so that like I can sync up with the groove and like make the people's butts move. So
well, I went to see. I've got my buddy Steve plays for what's the guy's name? I can never remember. He sings Cars. Like
Gary Newman.
Gary Newman. So he plays for Gary Newman.
You're talking about my childhood.
Mate, I didn't realize how heavy it was live. Like
Gary Newman's awesome.
Got me up on the stage, have a look at his kit, and he was playing with an orange tiny Terror going into the Wazza Boss amp, you know, the low box, and putting that into a 412 and amping it up to like 100 watts or whatever. So it was like a 15 watt orange at 100 watts with a 412, and then going through all the gear as well.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, it's
so heavy.
It's changed. I mean, it's changed times. The last time I went to see Toya, the guitarist, the bass player, and the keyboard player were all DI'd. So it's like Tom says, the only thing you could hear was the drums, and the guitarist and the bass player were playing through their iPad. So they had an iPad on a stand. Now, I know people are going to say, oh, it doesn't sound like a guitar. But you know, I've been playing guitar for a significant amount of time, and I could not tell the difference. But they were changing. Like the guitarist was changing on the fly. He was playing something. He would hit the button, and then the chorus would come in, and it was just crazy. They were all on in-ears. There was no sound from the stage, and it was just great. You know, from the point of view, it was no hassle.
I really don't want to say that they can sound good, but I went and seen. Have you ever heard of the Illegal Eagles? Yeah. So it's like an Eagles tribute band, and we went to see them. My father-in-law is like massive into the Eagles, so we're like, love it. We'll get tickets. It was his birthday. And when we got there was two Kempers on the stage before they come out. And I was just like, so fucking gutted. I was like, I hate this. I don't want to. And then they come out and started playing, and the sound was so big. And it, like they must have had like the speaker set up so it would play delays from all. It was just fantastic. And the sound was unbelievable. And it got me thinking, maybe I could buy a Kemper and start collecting amps that way. And I was like, no, Joe, stop it. You're not doing that. Stick with your valve amps.
Although when you mentioned valve, like I do have a Kemper, so I do have like a 500 amp collection.
Oh yeah. So do you buy amps and then just like scan them, send them back? Oh no, it wasn't for me. I bought the Kemper second hand off my friend about 2 years ago. I haven't even plugged it into my computer. I just there's about 500 amps on it, and I use 6. I use like a Marshall, a higher gain Marshall, a Fender, a cleaner Fender, and a couple of higher gain amps. So like I scrolled past 494 other amps to the six that I use at the end. You do get paralyzed by these things. I mean, I remember buying what was the Boss thing, the GT 500 or what? Yeah. And I was like, this is the best thing ever. But I'd never play guitar because I just start tweaking it. And very rarely do I play guitar unless I plug into the Victory V40 because it's set the way I like it. I just plug in, done. Headphones on through the Captor X or whatever. And, you know, I mean, these reamp things, reactive load box and whatever, they've changed the game for me. You can have, like, I've got a 64 Showman in front of me. I could never play. I couldn't even turn that thing on where I live.
You still have it? I thought you sold it.
I put it up for sale, mate, but no one was interested. So I was like, you know what?
I thought it went.
I don't need I don't need to say. Same as the Strat. I've got a Strat for sale that I never play, but I'm like, well, no one wanted to buy it, so I'll keep it. It's mine.
Yeah.
I just can't do the Strat thing. The middle pickup is just, it's in a way. Who that's where you pick. Who puts a pickup there? I've been dying to ask you, mate, of all your trawling of Japanese guitars and secondhand guitars, do you reckon you could pick 5 that stand out as being like guitars that surprised you, that were sleepers that you didn't think were going to be?
I don't know about that. I can tell you from my somewhat limited experience, what what I have found when I bought the first Greco I got was a 1981 EGF 850. Now, in my opinion, the best period for Greco is at like 79 to about 82 when they were making the EGF ones. And I think I paid £650 for that. And that was easily Gibson custom shop quality. It was the first really high quality Japanese guitar that I got. I was blown away by how good that was. And that was about 7 or 8 years ago. And that kind of put me on the road to just buying more and trying them all out.
So what was that exact guitar like? Was it like a two-piece top or was it?
They have the EGF 850s have a solid top, but they have a laminate, so they're like a flame laminate. So I guess I don't think that makes any difference to the sound, but people will argue, well, it's not a solid top. I mean, it's a solid top with a laminate. It looks the part. The pickups were Greco PU2 pickups that were just absolutely fantastic. I played some high quality Gibsons, and I'm a huge fan. I own about 12 Gibsons at the moment. I was blown away by how good this Japanese guitar was at a fraction of the price of a Gibson, and it just kind of got me into buying lots more. I mean, I have bought a lot more that were not as good as that, but I have. I bought a 1976 Aria Telecast, a thin line telly with wide range humbuckers.
Is this a recent video? It's like a mahogany color, like a chocolate color. Mate, that guitar looks amazing.
I mean, so I bought that based on 8 grainy photographs and an automated translation automated translation from Japanese to English. And I was like, I don't know about this. And it got here, and I think it maybe cost me £500. And it is an unbelievably good guitar. And at the same time, my friend yesterday dropped off a 76 Fender custom telly, which is worth about £3,500. And I got the Aria for a seventh of that.
That reminds me of some of the Tokai stuff that I've worked on too from the 70s. Like Tokai made some really nice Telecaster replicas, as well as like some P bass and J bass replicas. The Hard Puncher was one of their bass replicas, and I worked on one of those, and we set it up, and it played just as good as the guy's like 1960s J bass that was set up.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. It's like I said to you before the show, Joe. Like a big part of this for me is research and learning about stuff, because when I go onto these Japanese marketplaces, there's so much stuff that I don't really know much about. So I probably spend longer trying to figure out what something is and possibly what it's worth and the specifications of it based on 8 kind of grainy photographs, and it says an automatic translation. So to me, it's a whole thing. I'm not just going on to eBay and just clicking on a guitar or going into a guitar shop and buying something. I'm putting a significant amount of my time, and it's a hobby, That's
it really becomes an obsession too, mate.
Definitely.
When I first got into this, I started getting back into the history of it and finding out what the very first manufacturers were, like how they were being made and the conditions they were being made. And I mean, just the history of different brands, and especially Yamaha. Yamaha is one of my favorite musical instrument companies.
I feel like they're hindered by their own brand, if you know what I mean, because they're so wide ranging. The actual brand themselves hinders it.
Well, I think they were musical instruments first, though. Because if you look at the company logo, it's 3 tuning forks. That tells you everything you need to know about the Yamaha company.
Oh man, is that original then?
Oh, that's a beauty, mate.
The headphones back into it.
So, Kaisen has had one on our last show. We had a black one. That was just unbelievable. We've got a few questions in. Let me see if I can work through them. Dave Barry says, what's the price comparison to the GP200? For me, it's something that I really, really use, so he's not looking to spend a lot. I'm not sure what a GP200 is. Is that a Strat or a Telly? Maybe I've just caught half of a conversation there. But yeah, definitely Kaizen has got a Yamaha, and he also had the 7-string like brother of it, and then sold it. I love the Chris Buck thing, the new ones. I just, the gold top that they're doing is so tempting.
It's nice.
Yeah, I think they were very sensible getting Chris Buck in, because he's new. You know,
this is a red label Nippon Gaki.
Oh yeah,
FG75 that I reset the neck on, refretted. Also gave it a soft V, and then did my silk panties treatment on the neck where I French polished it so that it's just like a classical instrument, and made a new bone nut, new saddle. But this thing, it's a testament to the way Yamaha designed their instruments. They actually made the plywood. What I found out in my research was they resawed the mahogany, resawed the spruce, then relaminated it with hide glue so that it would stand the environment that they knew Japan was. Basically, Yamahas are some of the only guitars you can take on ships, or you can take to Caribbean islands. A friend of mine that I was in a band with, when he got out of the army, he took his GI Bill money and went to the Caribbean, and he took his 1972 Gibson with him. And one day he opened up the case and the neck flew at him. And all the islanders laughed at him. And they said, "You should have brought a Yamaha, man."
Yeah.
That's one thing you can say about...
He said that's all he saw in the Virgin Islands were Yamaha guitars on the street musicians play. And he didn't understand that's why all he saw. And it's because that's the only thing that would survive those humid and hot conditions.
Yeah.
When I reset the neck on this thing, the hide glue on it, they put alum in it and it turns it green. It's some of the most difficult hide glue to steam off. It's almost like trying to steam epoxy off. It's insane. Yeah. So
steaming the neck scares the hell out of me.
Yeah, these were engineered to last. I mean, this thing is a beast. I've taken it camping. I've put it through all kinds of stuff. And when it was given to me, it was worn out.
I still do believe, though, that the newer ones, if they changed their name to something, it wouldn't have the Yamaha thing with it, and they would go for so much more. It's like a branding thing. People already have them labeled, and it's just even though they're one of the original like brands, and they're early SGs like you got. Their early ones are just
they're
unbelievable guitars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
especially the ones with like the detailing on the on the tailpiece and stuff. Like the car.
Their professional line of instruments are like just second to none. I mean, like for working musicians, like. If you want something that's going to go on the road and function and play well and do what you need it to do, I mean, especially their drum sets. I mean, Yamaha drums to take on the road. Almost like 70% of the stages I've gone on to that the stage kit, was provided that I had to play was a Yamaha Stage Pro Custom or something similar.
Yeah.
And there you go, John. There's a bit of confirmation. So Jimmy, who is literally the best guitar tech in London, I've been told by several other of my friends. He says he's met a lot of guys in Ghanaian bands,
yes,
who say that they play Yamahas due to the climate. So
exactly,
there you go. That makes sense. So, is there a specific period of Yamaha to look out for the SG wise? Because I know they reissued them, didn't they, early 2000s?
Yeah, I think most people go for the original one, 76.
Yeah, the 70s.
79, and then they sort of rebranded after that.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got an SG 1000, which is in the cupboard there, which was actually on a bar in Tokyo. It was screwed to the wall. Yeah. I don't know if you've seen my video. It looks like it's been in a shipwreck. It's like it was on your submarine or something.
Yes, I'm going to be watching that when we finish this.
It's actually got a screw hole like right through. It's not this one, but it's got a screw hole through there, and it was actually screwed onto the wall. It was in a music bar in Tokyo.
Oh, it was used as decoration. Oh my god!
Or if you went in and you didn't have an instrument, you could just say, "Oh, I'll use that one." and it was just like unscrewed from the wall.
That's got to have some vibrations in it.
It's like some of the bars I walked into in Memphis. I was in Memphis for a blues competition, and we played at all these different bars. And one of them I walked into, and they had all these vintage guitars literally just screwed to the walls. And they probably had been there for like 40 or 50 years. You're like, damn, that's probably worth like $100,000 if it hadn't been screwed to the wall.
Yeah.
Dave Lewis says Dunsy's got a great Yamaha with a bullet hole in.
I mean, that's what it does look like, a bullet. It goes all the way through, through the guitar. It's crazy. But saying that, I got it for about I think all in £400.
You got it for a little discount, yeah.
I think they're about 1,600 if you buy them
exactly,
without a bullet hole.
Yeah, about $2,000 US was what they were going for.
Crazy, nice.
I worked on a black one that was beautiful for someone, and it's one of my favorite SG shapes because it's like such a perfect hybrid of the Les Paul and the double cut, and the points are like so nice and sharp. It's just a work of art, and it just feels so solid. I was able to set this thing up for drop C tuning with no problem.
My only issue that I could think that I would have is I know Chris Buck's got one. He's got like a dark based one from the 70s, and he's saying it's literally a boat anchor. Like he bought it because he thought
it's heavy as all get out, man. This one that I worked on, it made a mana. I don't know why. It was the mahogany. It was like solid Honduran mahogany that they used. That's why it's got so much like acoustic tone.
And like when you went to the SG like 2000 and 3000 that the guys at Big Country used, they had like big brass blocks under the bridge as well. So like the bridge was actually screwed into like a massive brass block underneath the bridge. I mean, like this is 77, I think. This is about £9. That's okay, but I believe that the 2000s and 3000s, which cost a fortune, I think they're very, very heavy.
I didn't realise they had a brass block inside the guitar. Oh, I would love to know if that makes much of a difference. Just get two side by side.
Well, I think if you're selling, it makes a difference. If you're buying, it doesn't make a difference.
That's a good way to look at that.
That brings up something like I was going to mention too about Japanese guitars is the Japanese hardware, especially the Goto stuff. And the fact that they are the OEM company for vintage reproduction hardware for Fender and Gibson. Like on all their vintage reissues, all their custom shop stuff. And some of the stuff that they've produced for Japanese manufacturers, they're like, going in with, like you say, like really thick brass bridge bases. Like some of my favorite Tele bridges are made by them, the 6 saddle ones that have one solid piece of brass that's been, milled into an L shape and has brass saddles. They just, they make a Tele like something completely, off the charts. In my opinion.
I know. If I buy a Japanese guitar, which because of the climate there, a lot of the stuff is very tarnished. If I need to replace anything in a bridge or a tailpiece, I always go for Goto stuff because A, it fits because it's metric.
It's metric.
And B is very, very good quality.
And sometimes they make reproductions for both US and metric, so it doesn't matter what you're trying to put it on.
You have just led me into a segue that is so perfect because I did a conversion. I got this Gibson 74 Les Paul, and it's got a Goto bridge on it. But it's like I had all the gold stripped off it, and I was like, I don't want that. So I bought a Zamak bridge from Kiss My Strings, a aged one, but it's an ABR one. Doesn't fit on the bloody guitar. So
post spacing's different.
No, it's the post thickness and
thickness.
Post thickness. Okay.
This is so selfish because I filmed a video for this, and it may be one of the only times that I have to bleep something out on one of my videos. I went to fit the bridge and I was like, what is going on? But the whole sizes are like bigger, but the bottom half, it's like got an insert into the body. So I was like, aha, I've got it. I know exactly what to do. And I bought these. So it's a Nashville insert and then ABR one top.
ABR one posts.
Nashville bit's too big for the insert that's in this body. Oh no, it can't be that easy. and it's not an ABR1 size.
Oh no!
So it's not 5mm. It's not 8mm.
That reminds me. That reminds me of the dark days of my lutherie career, where I was like, "All right, I'm getting a tap and retapping this thing."
I've got this guitar, and I'm like, "What are you, and why won't you?" And the tailpiece studs wouldn't go in either, so I've had to buy new inserts. But I know what size they are, so that's fine. But the bridge inserts, I've never seen a Les Paul with inserts for the bridge for a start. So someone's put that in there.
Like a conversion.
Yeah. Well, it got hollowed out. Someone's because it's a
that's the one.
Someone split it and hollowed it out.
You told me. Yes, the yes. This is a Franken guitar, basically. Yeah. So there's all bets are off on the hardware there. Like that could have been.
It's definitely a go-to bridge, and it's got wider openings than the ABR1 on the top half, but the bottom half looks to be just a hair bigger than the ABR1 post.
I mean, I know of at least 15, if not more, permutations of tunematic bridges that Goto has made over the years for various guitars and manufacturers. So it could be any number of them.
I've bought so many different types of conversion posts. And when I get them, like, no,
man,
next
I've got drawers full of stuff that's like all different shapes and sizes for that same reason, because nothing ever matches. And like if I find something, I'm going to need it one day.
I'm starting to think maybe it is the ABR thing, and I just never shoved it in enough. And then I'm like, I don't want to do that because I'll never get them out then.
No. Like, what normally happens to me is like I'll buy something that's the wrong size, and then I eventually have to buy a guitar that fits it.
Yes, I like that.
I love Trace Fandango's comment. No guitar is too heavy. Guitarists are largely weedy.
Yeah, and I play sitting down these days. So I mean, when I was on board the ship, I would play anywhere on the ship. So it'd be like strap the guitar to you, stand up behind the switchboard.
Once I seriously became a bass player, no guitar ever became too heavy.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this guitar heaviness you speak of?
So just on a side note, any ideas, John, on what I can do with that thing apart from like pull out the inserts and fit new ones?
Oh, well, I mean,
I'm scared of what I might find under them, you see.
Well, so they're threaded inserts, right?
Yeah.
So, and you have a metric thread pattern that goes in?
I don't know what it is. It's not an ABR1. It's not a Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
The next size up is 8mm. It's not. It's clearly not that.
It's got to be like a Goto metric post pattern of some sort.
But there's no conversion post for it. Definitely not.
Well, not for an ABR1, probably. That's the thing. Like, what I've had to do in that situation is pull those inserts out. Basically use the posts, and I've got a pulling tool that pops them out, and then put in the ABR1 conversion posts.
Well, it wouldn't be conversion post, would it? It would just be an ABR1 post. I mean, a guitar's meant for ABR1.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's what you got. Like some ABR1 bridges, like some of the ones from back in the day, they're threaded right into the wood. There's not even a post that they go into. Like some of the arch tops I've worked on.
That's what I'm used to, just threaded straight in.
Just threaded straight into the wood. So
my only other option is to take out the post, take it into work, and go in a workshop and just mill it down on a lathe to the right thing. And I'm like, this is getting extreme now. I just wanted to change the bridge.
It becomes a point of pride at that point.
Yeah.
Like, by the gods, I'll make it fit.
Well, I don't know if you've ever used the Kiss My String stuff. Honestly, mate, they're bridges.
I'm not sure that I have. No, I've used quite a few. I've used Callahan stuff, like the Callahan.
They're like steel, aren't
stuff. Yeah, they do some cryo stuff. They've done some titanium stuff, and I've used Mastery.
These are I like ABM. I think they're amazing, but these are made from Zamac. You know which is like the worst material in the world, but it's what Gibson used in the 50s, and the Japanese early guitars are made of.
Oh. So it's like basically a die-cast metal, zinc, it's like aluminum, manganese,
the cheapest thing that you can get,
chromium.
But we don't use it anymore, and it's what they used originally. So
it's what bubbles up and deplates and turns to powder over the time.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the old Gibson 50s,
especially for certain players. I've had some players, they must have like toxic sweat, because I've seen hardware like completely turned to powder in 3 years of them playing from brand new to like completely deplated and starting to bubble up and turn to powder.
Well, for me, I was like, why not? I mean, if I'm going to replace the bridge for something gold, I might as well buy something that's the original material, because it's milled out of a single block as well, like the Callahan ones. But it's no good to me now. It's just an ornament at the minute. But one day it'll be a good bridge.
Just screw it to the wall like my Yamaha. Look cool.
Yeah. Well, at this point, I'm going to have loads of inserts. I'll get one that fits it. Jesus, I've had so many.
Yeah, I remember when there was like a big push for like the Tone Pros stuff. That was probably back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, I went down that route. I'm Faber.
I've installed a lot of those things, but again, like I keep coming back to like Goto stuff. Like it's always served me, and it seems like there's always something that they make that fits for every application.
Do you know what ruined my guitar modern history? Is I don't know if you've heard of Ainsley Lister. Around about 2010, he released an album, and he had this red Strat that his dad had bought him when he was a kid, a red Japanese Strat that he put all Tone Pros hardware on, the Rezo Max saddles and that just made me buy everything Rezo Max for every guitar. Just obsessed with it. Like, never played any guitar because I was too busy trying to ruin nuts changing into Rezo Max.
Oh goodness!
Madness, mate. So, when you get a new guitar in, Dunsy, what's like your process? Because do you get it in and like play it for a bit before you change anything and set it up, or?
I mean, what I normally do, like, really because of YouTube, is like I'll film the unboxing because it seems to be quite a popular sort of thing on YouTube. But I am genuinely 100% as a nearly 59-year-old man, like a kid at Christmas. When I open the box, and it's because I've based this purchase, which I did 3 months ago, on eight photographs. I have no idea what it's going to be like, and just taking out of the box, taking out the bubble wrap, and actually just looking at it for the very first time, it's like I need to make that, and like, will this work? And like, it's a simple, like, I don't like, has it got a broken neck? Will this work? So the very first thing I do is like take it out, have a quick once over, and for YouTube I'm filming it, and then I will like plug it in, even with the strings that came on it, which are usually, some of them are like that thick and rust, just to see if the electrics work. So my initial like half hour is taking out the box, just looking at it, plugging it in, and then probably for the next video, like, I've worked out what I need to do, because then I've already checked the electrics to the work. And then, like, over maybe 2 or 3 videos, I will fix what I can. I don't do a lot of fret work, so if I have fret work needing done, I take that to a local guitar tech who does that for me. But honestly, it's like, I swear to God, I'm like a kid opening a train set at Christmas. I'm like, oh my God, it's a Yamaha and it's not broken.
I love it. Love it.
Yeah, you can tell on some of your videos, actually, the ones that, like, I knew that telly that you got recently, I knew that would be one that you love, because you can tell in your reaction that it's different.
Yeah, I mean, I think I actually said when I was narrating the video, I probably said this is unbelievable and fantastic about 100 times, because I was just going, oh, do you want to see just now? Do your viewers want to see a quick look?
Absolutely. Yeah. Honestly, mate, it's like the quintessential 70s telly. I mean, look at that.
Oh, yes.
Come on now.
Yes. Love those.
So mate, yep. It's got the right amount of wear.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Those are sleepers. People just don't understand.
It's like the body's got the perfect amount of, and the neck, the perfect amount of wear on it to be like a vintage guitar, but not like battered, It's just saying, mate, it's got the perfect amount of wear on it, like the body, the neck and stuff. It's just worn enough. It's not like abused, but it's not new.
Yeah, and like I'm a big sort of believer, and I didn't believe this until last 2 or 3 years. If a guitar is beat up and it's been played a lot, not because somebody didn't own another guitar. It's been played a lot because somebody played that guitar because it was so good.
Yeah,
exactly, mate.
Yeah,
exactly.
I still think relic guitars sound better, and I know it shouldn't make a difference, and everyone will laugh at that, but to me, it really does. My Les Paul, like this thing, my friend made me this, and it was brand new. I hated how it sounded, and then I beat it up and relicked it and did all the thing, and now honestly, it sounds amazing. And I think it might be in my head. I'm like, it's aged, so it sounds good. But whatever. If it's in my head, I'm good. Good
I was about to. It doesn't matter if it's in your head or not. It's your guitar, and if you think it sounds better, with it beat up, I'm a big believer in. Like I don't do a lot of videos on budget guitars, and that's not because I don't like budget guitars. It's because I use different stuff. But people should buy whatever guitar fits their budget, and more importantly, they feel comfortable with it and they think it sounds great. It doesn't matter if I think it sounds great or some guy on YouTube think it sounds great. If you buy a guitar for whatever, £150, 500, 5,000, if you find that a comfortable guitar and you love the sound, it doesn't matter what the name is or anything like that. But
exactly, yeah.
Everybody can't play the same guitar though. I mean, people always say to me, I wouldn't buy a Gibson because it's too expensive. It's like, people have different budgets. The person that's going in to buy a Tom Murphy age Gibson Les Paul isn't the guy who's going to buy something like a vintage or a Harley Benton. And there's nothing wrong with either of those two things. People just have different budgets. One is not better than the other. People just have different budgets. People have different cars.
Yeah, I was just about to say different priorities, because they'll be writing a post saying that's too expensive, that guitar, sat in a nice brand new BMW. Whereas I would rather sit in a Vauxhall Cavalier from the 90s with a Gibson in my lap.
Exactly.
That's it,
your priorities are. So,
I've got friends who play golf. They spend thousands on their golf clubs. And I'm sure that they think they play better than somebody who bought them from their mum's catalogue. But at the end of the day, they're both like cars. They both do the same thing. A car takes you from A to B. Some of them just do it a bit faster and a bit more comfortable.
All right. So Dave Lewis says, Joe, just send you the picture of my Yamaha without the bullet hole. Right, let's have a look and see if modern technology.
My bullet hole Yamaha is in my secret guitar cupboard, so I'd have to go and rescue it.
Secret guitar cover? That sounds ominous, mate.
Well, don't ask. It's like Mr. Ben.
So, in your collecting of Japanese guitars, I'm sure you've come across a lot of the really cool, crazy sci-fi oddball stuff from the early '60s.
I've seen so many of them, but I've never ventured into buying them. And
oh wow, those are something that I really loved. There's just something cool about them. And I think it has to do with watching old Japanese sci-fi movies, like Godzilla movies, where the band would be playing stuff that looked like that, where the headstocks were ridiculously large.
Yeah. And what I like is like the ones who have, instead of pickup selectors, have got like a big row of like huge buttons. At the top. And you just have to, I mean, I've never bought one because I've always had the impression they don't play well.
Oh, well. That's the thing. Like I've learned how to make them play well, and I guess, that's the thing. Like
is there anything to the old gold foils then, John? Do you rate them?
Yeah, I do rate them. And this was something I was thinking about. I think it's one of those things where the chaos of the wind of everything allows all of the like different fractal images to come through the sound that you see. So it's one of those things that, because it's not so uniform and because it's got a weird material, it's the same thing with Dan Electros. Like Dan Electros have a very unique sound with the lipstick pickup because it's such a simple design, but it's wrapped in such a weird way that you can't really kind of like tame it the same way that you can with pickups that have individual pole pieces.
I'm guessing they're not potted as well then.
No, they're definitely microphonic. Yeah.
So my Les Paul pickup, that's the most microphonic pickup ever. You play that with fuzz and it's away.
And the Harmony Bobcats, the DeArmonds, like the ones that had gold foils like that, or different metal foils, they were kind of the same way. It was just basically a bar magnet wrapped in wire that had been coated in some sort of enamel or lacquer. And then that was wrapped in tape and fit around the magnet and stuck inside of the case.
That was it, yeah.
And I call it craptacular sound. Basically, it's something that it's one of Jack White's secret weapons. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of the stuff that you hear from the Kinks, a lot of the stuff that you hear from like certain, you know, garage bands and stuff like that. It's that pickup sound. You can't reproduce it. I've heard and seen people try and reproduce it with $1,000 Strats, you know, out the wazoo, like multiple $1,000 Strats, and they never can get it. And then they see Ry Cooder with his Strat, and he's got gold foil stuck in it, and they're like, "Oh, that's how he got that sound. He's got a Coodercaster."
Well, yeah, there's whole companies that go after that, isn't there? I need to ask, what on earth? Jimmy Smith says the Yamaha Flying Banana and Samurai are awesome guitars and very playable. Please tell me the Flying Banana is a V. Is it a V?
It might be. I would hope so. I mean, the only Flying Banana I know is the one that Stu has from the King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, the Flying Microtonal Banana, but that was custom made for him. So,
yeah, the Samurai guitars are like, I've got a bigger sort of lower bout, and they're quite sort of funny shaped. They're almost like a squished, I don't know, kind of like a Firebird, almost like, or something like that. They look really. The original one looks fantastic, and they've got a massive big bridge on, like a huge bridge on them as well, with like a trem and that. Is pretty cool looking guitars.
Oh man, I need to see what
Jimmy Smith says it looks like a banana, the Flying Banana. So I can only imagine. I've seen some strange guitars in my day. So
I very nearly typed Flying Banana into YouTube into Google without putting Yamaha first. That would have been a mistake, wouldn't it?
You'd gotten the King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard videos for.
Could have got arrested in the UK. You better be careful.
That's what I was thinking. Oh, it's come up Flying Banana. I need to see what this.
Just tell them you're training the recruits on how to defend against fruit.
What? Yeah, fair one. Look at that.
Yeah, that's cool. I like them.
Yeah. Oh,
it's like got a meat cleaver headstock.
I have seen those. They have the hockey stick headstock.
I mean, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
What is that pickup there in the bridge?
It's Japan, baby. It's Japan, man.
Two singles, and I think you can sort of turn them up so they become humbucking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did so many cool experimental pickups in Japan.
Yeah.
I had one of the Magnetone equipped Electras. The Magnetone humbucker that you could, coil tap in certain ways, and it was like part of Peter Frampton's sound. He would use that pickup with his talk box.
Mm-hmm.
That was something a lot of people don't realize. Like that Frampton Comes Alive, he was not playing a Gibson guitar; he was playing a Japanese Electra.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And then also, you remember the Cheap Trick Live at Budokan album? One of the first things that he says is he goes out and he says, "I had to go get me a Japanese guitar."
Right.
A lot of people in the '70s, they were like losing faith in Fender and Gibson. They were like, "You guys are like putting out second-rate products, and just not up to what we're used to." And these guys in Japan are making stuff that looks and plays as good as what we're used to. So
like the Ibanez Destroyers, like Eddie Van Halen used an Ibanez Destroyer because, I think Gibson reissued them in '76, but they hadn't made them since 1959.
And I mean, look at people like Paul Gilbert. Like he loves Ibanez Iceman. That's he's big into that style of guitar. And
if I had to get my ideal Japanese guitar, Greco do a Rick Nielsen blue. Blue Ibanez Destroyer is the Greco Cheap Trick Budokan guitar, and I think they're very rare.
They
very
are
expensive.
I know exactly the guitar you're talking about. I was a huge Cheap Trick fan as a kid. Like Rick Nielsen and Bunny Carlos were two of my favorite musicians for a while. I wanted to be able to play guitar like Rick Nielsen and drums like Bunny Carlos at the same time, a la Hazel Adkins or Hassel Adkins. I mean.
I've gone on like a Japanese guitar mission, and you just mentioned that blue guitar. I'm wondering if I can see one I'm watching.
If you search it's a Greco Blue Iceman.
Blue Iceman.
Yeah, I used to play some gigs with a friend of Rick Nielsen. He said that he wished that he had taken Rick's advice. Like he was too busy out like trying to make money, scouring up gigs while Rick was building a career.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah,
No,
he
this
did,
is-
he
this
did
is the,
definitely have some sour grapes about that one. Yeah. having been forced to like play cruise ship gigs and schmooze to like crazy, like
this
patrons.
is the one that I've got my eye on.
Oh,
It's got
sweet.
So it's got the old the stinger on the back of the headstock as well.
I love guitars
not-
you can't sit down and play.
Well, mate, they're so comfortable to play standing up,
Mhm.
but it's $2.5 grand. I'm like, that's an awful lot of money to play for a guitar. And the one I wanted to ask you about mostly, mate, have you ever seen anything like this from Greco? This
I
is
have,
the one I
yeah.
was saying before.
Yep.
With the with the split parallelogram
Yep.
inlays and
Is that from the late 70s?
yeah, 78. I believe.
The only thing you need to watch was them is the binding on those rots.
Yeah,
Like
anything really
I've seen
from
that,
that
like
era.
cracks.
Yeah.
Any guitar
let's see
from
if we
those
can-
eras, I've had that experience. Like there were a
So-
lot of
so it's in-
plastic providers for the manufacturers. They didn't get their mix right, the plasticizers
Yeah.
to the material ratio, and so
Well,
you
you
have
can
a
see a
lot
lot
of
of them
'70s
cracking stuff.
guitars. Just
Well,
Yeah,
this
like
is an
some of them, like-
SA800R.
The SA800 is kind of high up. Probably the higher one than that would have been an SE1200. So that's kind
the
of
binding. It looks bad, the binding.
it tends to crack and actually fall off. So I would be prepared to maybe repair that. That's the only thing.
Oh,
you can
that's definitely
stabilize
on me,
it depending on
Yeah.
how bad and what type of cracking it does. You can stabilize it too. with,
my thinking is that must have lived in a good environment. You put it in my environment, it may not last very long. So,
Yeah.
well, I travel quite a bit, and if I take a guitar with me, then
Mhm.
you know my Melody Maker is like the world's cheapest, rubbishest vintage guitar. It looks like it's got yellow glue by the neck. It looks like someone took the neck off. It's the best sounding guitar I've ever played. And it's
What year is it?
phenomenal.
I've got a 63 there.
Mine's a 60.
Oh, you've got a 60. Is that a single cut, double cut?
It's
single cut,
single,
and single cut. Someone's put P90s in it. Well, it had P100s in it, and they'd spray painted it all black. So when I bought it for like 950 quid, and it had 5 strings, and none of the tuners were held on with any screws. It was just like they were just on. But I was like, this feels amazing, and it's ringing. And so I bought it and slowly uncovered all the paint, and it's a sunburst, but it's aged
beautiful.
to death. I mean, it's beat up to death, but it's fantastic.
900.
And I got the serial number off, and it's a 0. It's 1960. Like brilliant.
I mean, like I think they moved to double cuts in 61. I think so. You probably got the last single cut.
And it's got a big old neck on it. It's like a 59
neck.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I mean, my thinking is it's made of the same wood that Clapton's, Les Paul was made of, 1960.
So when you come to sell that, that's exactly what you put in the advert. Made
Well,
from the
that's
same
never getting sold.
made from the same piece of wood as Eric Clapton's was.
Mate, honestly, I bought it at my first guitar show as a vendor. And I right at the end of the show, I just whipped round and had a look, and I fell in love with it. And when I brought it back to the stand, everyone's like, "What the hell have you bought, and why? Why have you bought that piece of crap?" And I was like, "This is the best guitar ever." And I've got a staple P90 in the neck now from Sunbear, and he made me a set because he's like my guy. Everyone has a pickup guy. He's kind of like my guy, and put like an old bridge on it and stuff. And it's just the best guitar that I've ever had.
I think I said to Dave Lewis recently, like he sent me a video, a link to one of your videos, and I said, "It's brilliant that you're using the Melody Maker on that." I says, "That's just the coolest guitar ever to use on that."
Oh, mate.
My all-time favorite guitar is my 65 Melody Maker.
Which is that the bigger body version, is it?
It's like the Joan Jett version.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
Which was converted to humbuckers in 1970 by a previous owner. So if I owned it in its original configuration, maybe I wouldn't change it, but somebody's already done it. So it's like, I got it cheaper and it sounds brilliant.
Yeah. Same here, mate. I would never put P90s in it because sacrilege. It's 1960. You're not going to ruin it.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad someone did. They also, weirdly enough, had a massive piece of lead underneath the pick guard, like at the bottom to weigh the guitar down. It weighs like £6. And I'm like, why would you? it doesn't neck dive, so I'm not too sure. Maybe he's trying to get like a real slope on it or something. I don't know. It's very weird.
Maybe somebody like read something in a magazine that somebody did somewhere, and they thought, "Oh, I'll do that too."
It had like the
That's
knobs
the
on
secret
it.
to the
Like,
sound.
the knobs were brand new, and one was cracked off, and it was just ruined. And I don't know if you ever heard of Dojo Guitar Repair. He's on Rick Beato's channel quite a bit. He's like his guitar tech. He said to me, "Look, I've got a set of 63 knobs. I'll send you them for a good price." And I was like, "That's not a good price." And then when I started Googling, like 250 quid for a set of knobs, like, okay, that is a good price that you're offering. I'll take that.
Yeah.
So he did me a solid. But so I've got an original set of knobs on it as well now.
Oh, brilliant, man, brilliant.
Yeah. When I was working on that 63 Strat, that was one of the things I was like, this switch tip is like $250. It's like I'm not going to risk damaging this thing.
It's crazy how much they are, isn't it? It is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, you just have to like what used to be something you could just like go and like work like a mechanic on. You have to be like, okay, I've got to approach it this way. Like I've got to photograph everything on it, document every scratch and nick on it, so that whenever I give it back to the person, they can't say that I did that. It's like,
well, you're looking at the idiot who bought a 64 Showman and then recapped it to put the blue mold caps back in because someone had put orange drops in it, and I was like, I can't live like this. so I paid £30 a cap to recap it because I just couldn't. I'm obsessed.
Yeah. I know. My friend Paul Grinklepig's in the chat. He's a man with some nice guitar. I think he's selling a 63 Fender Jaguar in blue.
Ooh.
It's one of the most beautiful guitars I have ever seen.
Is it one of the metallic blues or?
There you go. Everyone in the chat, Ringo Pig is now up on the screen. If you're looking for an amazing guitar, maybe hit him up.
It's 66. I was like, man, I'm trying to talk him into swapping it for my 79 wine red Strat
nice.
Les Paul, but I don't think he will.
Yeah.
It'd be a decent thing to do personally. But
I've worked on a lot of Jaguars and Jazzmasters from the late 50s and 60s, like Jaguars, from the 60s, but the Jazzmasters, like the earliest ones that I worked on, were some of the original line because I had a customer that was just obsessed with them. And he was in the surf music, so he had to have Jaguars and he had to have Jazzmasters, and he was never happy having just one of each. So
he always had
I'm a massive the old Duo Sonics and Music Masters. I'm a massive fan of them, like the 60s and the 70s ones.
Yeah, me too.
I think I had a 76 Music Master with a P90 in a bridge and the original neck pickup, and it was just the best sounding guitar ever. It's short scale. I prefer the short scale, probably because I'm short and fat. I think that's what it is.
Oh, you could do such like cool double stop licks and stuff with it, and not have to stretch your fingers so long.
It just sounded raw, you know what I mean? Like
that's
nice guitar.
That's what I loved about my 57 3/4 scale length Gibson ES 125. It was one of the student models that was 3/4 scale length. It was like 22 and something, and you could just do these insane licks that you couldn't really do on anything else, even a regular short scale guitar.
Even the 3/4 length juniors now are pushing on $5-6 grand, aren't they?
Oh, I know, yeah. I basically traded a Telecaster that I made for this guitar. I was thinking I can always make another Telecaster. I can't make a 57 Gibson.
Yeah.
I
what I need to do is stop looking at vintage guitars. My justification now is, though, I'm not looking at vintage guitars. I'm looking at Japanese guitars. They're like the budget version. And then there's me $2.5 grand, $2 grand. Doing what's in a way more than.
Bad. You need to use Zen Market. That's like, if you watch some of my videos about using Zen Market.
I watched a recent one where you go through exactly how you go through it, and you have to put the money in the account, don't you, before you make it.
But you can put the money in your account on a interest-free PayPal 3 months, and then it takes 3 months to get here, so it's like a free guitar by the time it gets here.
Oh man, I need to delete
I think we should refer back to a comment way back in the chat where he said Scotsmen always give the best financial advice.
Oh yes, It's all about knowing the optimum amount of alcohol before you hit the buy now. Because too much and you're paying far too much money, and not enough, and you're not brave enough to go in there. Right?
I love this. Have you ever bought a guitar drunk and thought this is such a mistake, and then it turn up and you're like, actually, I'm glad.
Well, this is a true story. This is an eBay story. This was in 2001. I woke up on one Saturday morning after a works night out, and I had 3 emails from eBay to say congratulations, you've won. And I bought 3 guitars from America, none of whom would deliver to the UK. So I have a friend in Raleigh, North Carolina. So I had to contact all 3 sellers to say, like, could you send these to my friend in Raleigh? And I wasn't going to Raleigh for another 8 months. So it took me 8 months to get the guitars. And there was only one that I thought was any good. And I brought that back. It was just, I woke up in the morning, I had a sore head, and I was like, I've got 3 emails from eBay. That's a bit strange. And none of them would deliver to the UK. It was like, bugger.
That's class. What did you do with the other 2? Just sell them while you were out there?
I left one with my friend in Raleigh. I traded one into a local shop in Raleigh, and I brought one back with me.
The very first guitar I ever bought, I bought at Harry's Guitar Shop in Raleigh.
I was going to say that's exactly where I traded it into Harry's Harry's old shop.
I also bought one of Simon McElwee's SGs from Harry's at one point, like, because Simon just went through SGs like, they were, just whatever, like. That's all he played in Corrosion of Conformity. So, like, there was always Simon McElwee SG at Harry's Guitar Shop at any given time that he had played, and said, "No, I don't like that one."
Is the shop still there then?
It's moved. It's moved to a different place,
different location. It's still open. Yeah. Harry, like, he was one of those real guys that you go in, you tell him what your budget is, and he wasn't trying to sell you more than what you needed. And he actually sold me a guitar that was cheaper, that he didn't make hardly any money off of, than the other guitar that I liked, because we both played them and we both came to the same conclusion that this guitar, even though it was cheaper and not a name brand, it still was the better guitar of the 2. So
I stand by that sort of thing. There's many a times when someone comes to me to buy a pedal and I say, you really don't want one of mine, you want this or that, because I know it's going to fit them better. And if you sell them something of yours and they don't like it, they're not coming back. Let's face it. So I'm all over that. That's the sign of someone who's genuine, especially in a guitar world, because how many guitars do they really sell on a daily basis? Probably not that many. And so each sale is crucial, Yeah, that's good going. So what's your single best buyer? Is it the Telecaster recently, or through the years? Is there any standout, like an all-time favorite?
An all-time favorite. I still love the bullet hole SG, like the 79 Yamaha SG. Like I say, you would need to find a picture of it, but it looks. When I did the unboxing, I took it out of the box, and I think I actually swore on the video. I think I was like, it only cost, I think, say maybe up £350, £400. But even at that, I was thinking, this is a lost cause. But I plugged it in and it worked. Like the whole thing worked. Like the coil splits worked. Everything worked. And the only thing I had to do was just change a couple of bits of hardware. And my friend replaced a bit of binding. And it was like, it's like I'd resurrected this trashed guitar.
Yeah.
I was so surprised, because honestly, when I looked at it, I thought, nah, this is a lost cause. But it's turned out to be a fantastic playing and a fantastic sounding instrument that most people would probably pass by, because when you saw the pictures, like, you could tell it was pretty, like, it genuinely looked like it'd been at the bottom of the ocean for some.
That sounds so similar to the same one that I restored, the black one I was telling you about. Like, the guy had put it up in an area that had been flooded, and it had sat for like 30 years, and he finally got around to saying, "Oh, I'm going to fix this thing up and play it." And to my surprise, I was thinking, "Oh, I'm going to have to replace everything." It all cleaned up, and when I plugged it in, it worked. It was insane. Yeah.
Did they give you the name of the bar that it was hung up on? So if you visit Japan, you could go and go, There it is. That's where it was.
Well, so it actually had the name of the bar they painted on it. When I got
wow.
it.
Oh,
So someone who's a subscriber who lives in Tokyo now, he says, "Oh, that like that's a bar that's around the corner for me." And then I checked it out, and that's how I found out it was like it's a karaoke kind of live performance bar. And he says
That's
like
so good.
that it would have been on the wall. Like if you turned up and you said, "Oh, I'm a guitar player," I don't have a guitar, you would have said, "Oh, well, you know, just get your electric screw."
You know what?
hand you the guitar.
I'd feel
I love
obliged to go and visit it. I just would. That's such a good story.
I know.
Imagine taking like the pick guard and getting the owner to sign the pick guard or something.
Okay, it was
Unbelievable.
I mean, it wasn't. When I looked at the bar online, it had the same logo that they had painted on the guitar. So
Yeah.
I mean, it was that. It was just crazy. But like I said, when I saw it on Zen Market, it was like a fifth of the price of every other 1979 Yamaha SG1000, simply because it looked trashed. And then when I took out the box, I thought it is trashed, and it turned out it was like with the least amount of work. It just I've used it live at gigs and everything like that, and it sounds fantastic.
I just love the history behind it. I'm one for that. Like, it's not so much how much the guitar's worth, but it's like the story behind it and what it's been through. I love all that.
Yeah.
That's why I often take my guitars away with me. So a lot of them have traveled the world. But my melody maker's been to like the Arctic, it's been to the South China Sea, it's been to the Gulf, it's been, it's been around the world. So it's been to Canada. It means more to me just because
do you ever have to adjust the truss rod when you're taking it to all these different places?
So a normal person would, but because I have the action so high and I'm terrible like at tuning and stuff, I just play it and yeah, nothing. And then when I come back to the UK, it's good.
Yeah, exactly. If it sounds good to you.
Yeah, I'm kind of the middle of the road guy, but yeah, the thing is, if I took it off the ship a lot, I probably would. But because the ship, I mean, I'm in charge of the air conditioning. So if the guitar's truss rod moves, I'm not doing my job properly. So actually, not really.
Yeah.
So, well, yeah.
It'd be a shame for all the rest of your crewmates who are like freezing to death, and you're saying, "Well, I have to watch my melody maker." Come on, guys.
I've got to keep it climate controlled in here.
Well, exactly.
Yeah. Now, say it's for all the valuable electronics that.
Yes.
Well, it is, mate. We were out in the Gulf, so it's like 50-something degrees outside. People are dying of heat, and on all the other ships around us, people are dying inside, and you normally do. People inside my ship were wearing like big jackets, woolly coats, and stuff, and they were like, "It's too cold, Chief." Like, I don't care. And also, I kept taking a freezer out of action. I had this old white Les Paul custom. It was it was only a 90s one, 98. I just wanted it to be checked. So every now and again, I'd just empty the freezer and say, "I'm doing maintenance." And he'd be like, "What the hell?" Like, "Yep, cook all the meat off, don't care, I'm doing maintenance," whatever. And then 2 days later, my white Les Paul had emerged from the freezer.
Get cold checked.
And he'd be like, "What's that in there for?" I needed something to cool down to test it. Bullshit. And anyway, people would go for it. You'd be like, "Oh yeah, the Chief's using his guitar to, as something to cool down and measure." Yeah, cheers. I wanted lacquer checking me.
Brilliant. That's what happens. If you're the boss, you can do that.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, in a refrigeration world, because the engineering, something that not many people on board understand. Even my boss is like, "All right, Chief, whatever." He's like the boss of bosses, knows engineering inside out, hasn't got a fridge ticket, so he's like, "Yeah, if the Chief said so, then yeah, all right. Don't want to get involved. Does the fridge work? Yes, right, I'm happy." So I use it all the time for guitars. Or like you go in a workshop and I'd be in there working on an amp or something, you'd be like, "Oh God, right, leave him to it. We'll work tomorrow or whatever." I do miss that, but I tell you what, I wouldn't want to go away again now.
Why?
It'd
be a bad time to be at sea, I think, these days.
Well, it's not so much that. I'd rather sit in my pants at home looking at Japanese guitars online.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that. But
are you full-time on short now?
Yeah, so I'm like in a HR role. I've extended for 2 years to stay in this role. So
right.
Full-time Navy still, but it's like a rolling 2-year contract now because I'm pensioned off. If I leave, that's me. But yeah, no more sea time for me. It doesn't fit in with my guitar schedule.
Well, and two, like you got a 5-year-old, 6-year-old now, right?
Yeah, my 6-year-old could not.
Like having time with with a child at that age is priceless.
Mate, when I come back from the Far East, so I did like basically anti-China, whatever. When I come back from that, she didn't know who I was. I got in the car and she was like, "Mummy, who's the man in the car?" Not for me.
Yeah,
that's it.
Not for me anymore. That was the nail in the coffin.
There you go.
Yeah, and also guitars. You know, I couldn't do the podcast at sea. What would that be like?
Yeah. Although, like, I think, to be honest, like, you're thinking about just sitting in your pants. That's probably the most important thing.
Yeah, exactly. Not family, not money or anything.
Yeah.
I'm just in my pants. Look at Japanese guitars of a night. Maybe I'm not drinking enough. That's why I haven't bought any.
That's what it is, man. It's finding the right level. I've got a wee thing from my computer that I'll blow into, and it, like, once I get to a certain level, it says bid now, bid now.
That's fantastic. You can actually buy the breathalyzers as well.
All right.
That's class. Oh man, I tell you what, John, I'm on the verge with I'm torn between them two Greco guitars, and I don't know why I'm drawn to Greco out of all the Japanese
They're
brands.
really well built. Is it the Fujigen factory? Like the Greco Fujigen guitars, man. Like I just think they're every bit as good as what they were mimicking. Like they were one of those companies that dissected really good examples of vintage Gibsons, reverse engineered everything, and built copies of it, which is what the Japanese do so well, and then made improvements wherever they could.
Do you watch the Doug and Pat show?
Yeah,
have you ever seen that? So they have a Tokai, don't they? Like a clown-based Tokai, and for the longest time, I was like, that is the guitar that I want. Even when they're playing, you know, the gold top and stuff, it's still like that Tokai was just like the guitar. And I'm still finding myself more drawn to the Grecos when I look online. I don't know what it is.
I was exactly the same. Like the first one I bought was the Greco, the EGF, and I don't know. It was almost because it had the G of the Gibson, and I was thinking, and it was just a kind of subliminal thing. I was thinking, I'll get it because it looks like the same font. If you're thinking of buying one, to me the ones that I have tried is sort of 79 to about 83 seems to be the best period when everything, even the SE 350s, quite low. Everything was built really well, but then I think they started mounting up how much they were building. Maybe not quite as good. So I tend to go for 71 to 79 to 83. That's the ones I go for.
Yeah, because like you said, by the late 70s, they really had gotten their manufacturing process down, and they had fixed a lot of the issues that some of the earlier prototypes that they had been making. You know, and that was when they really started scaring the manufacturers like Martin, Gibson, and Fender.
Craze Fandango, aka Lawsuit Era. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's it. Like the Fujigen was making Strats so good, the Fender asked them to make their Strats.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
like as simple as that.
On my '63 Strat, I have an '83 Fujigen neck because it's almost a direct copy of what a '63 neck would feel like.
Yeah, I mean that's it. Like they were so spot on that Fender got them to make their guitars. I mean, they were no longer copies.
Gibson as well.
Well, that's the reason why. Like, there's 1982. You can only get the Japanese made stuff. There was no US made stuff. It wasn't until '83 with the Smith Strat, which that's the first Strat that I bought from Harry's Guitar Shop back in 1988.
A Dan Smith Strat with two controls.
A Dan Smith Strat, that had been modified with EMGs. We think it had been used as a test bed for the Elite series. They were getting EMG to make the active pickups for Elite.
Is the Elite series the ones with the metal nut? Is it that one?
I'm not sure. These had active pickups. They were like
no 80 pieces active.
They were 83, 84, something like that when they came out.
The guitar player in my band was he had one passed down from his dad. It looked like an olive green color, like a metallic-y olive green, and it had a metal nut on it, and it was just.
They were working with Gilmore a lot too on that platform because he was really into the active pickups at the time. I think he played EMGs in the 80s.
Yeah.
Have any of you ever owned an Orville guitar?
Oh yeah,
because I look a lot at Orville, but with the by Gibson as opposed to just Orville. And Their Les Paul customs just look. Oh, here we go.
I've worked on a couple of Orville's. Their 335 copy. Oh
wow!
Man.
So Joe Perry model.
That's a beautiful one. Yeah.
Weighs a ton.
Sign of a good guitar, according to Chris.
Yeah.
No, but I'm so tempted by their Les Paul customs, because the white ones they age in the same way. They get that yellow one on them. It's just looks so cool.
I don't know if the Orville customs have a ebony fingerboard. I think the Orville by Gibsons do. I think the Orville by Gibson ones do. I think I've owned an Orville by Gibson Standard, which was unbelievably beautiful guitar. The Orville one, like that's an Orville Joe Perry. That's the only Orville I've seen that has a ebony fingerboard.
Yeah, I think the others have rosewood, me, or the ones I've seen online. But my thinking was I can do the old wire wool dissolved in white vinegar trick, darken it, and then hit it with the Monty's relic wax.
Oh yeah,
darkers. I'm a fan of the Monty stuff. It really does darken up a light board. So
I worked on a 1980s Orville 335 for someone, and I think it had an ebony board.
Oh right.
Yeah, for their 335 copy that they made. But I'm not sure. I don't know if it was Orville by Gibson. It might have just been Orville.
I was going to say I heard that the by Gibson ones are the better ones, but
I mean, I think the difference is the Orville by Gibson use Gibson pickups, and they have nitro finish.
And I thought too it was for the different market. I think Orville by Gibson was for the U.S. market, and just plain Orville was for the overseas market.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think this was like one somebody had brought back from Japan when the guy bought it. So
the only thing that I felt, I think I've had 4 Orvilles. The stock pickups aren't particularly good. They're quite kind of bland. So I have changed all the bridge pickups in the ones I've had.
Yeah, I think he put bare knuckle pickups in this one too. When bare knuckle was like early on making some of their humbuckers.
I've just bought a set of mules for that.
He may have even put the P90s that fit the humbucker spot in them. This guy was into like all different kinds of tones and modifying things. So I've worked on all sorts of stuff for him. I lost track. He was one of my best customers.
for pickups, mate, normally I just get all the stew from somewhere. I tell him in like the world's worst explanation guitar words what I want. And what he does is transpose that into real pickups that work.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sometimes I don't even tell him, and he just makes them and says, I know what you're looking for, mate. This is what you want. I'm like, I wasn't even ordering them.
I think the pickups I've used most in the last 4 or 5 years, just for like replacing something, is Tone Rider. I've used Tone Rider pickups on a whole range of guitars, Strats,
the price, mate, you cannot beat them. Yeah. They're very, very good for the price. Is it like the steam hammer or something, steam mill or something like that? The humbucker pickup that's like a path but a bit hotter. Unbelievable. Yeah, unbelievable.
What did I get the other day? I've got a new.
Sure, it's like jazz, the steam or something like that.
I've got a new Jazz Master, so I've got
oh nice.
I've got creamery pickups for my Jazz Master.
Oh nice.
Which like Jamie makes real. I've got a set of creamery pickups on my Jaguar. Jamie
made in Manchester, right?
Yeah.
I've had a few of his humbuckers. Unbelievable. He does he does like real unusual winds and stuff as well, doesn't he? In some of his
these ones he calls these like Alt 88. They're designed to sound almost like Dinosaur Jr. That kind of alternative American college rock, and they're really good. Really good.
My only gripe is that he's so busy and they're so rare to come by. It's a pain in the arse because you want to buy them, like take my money. He's like, I'm busy now. I'll open it now. It's closed for buying.
I know.
Like, there's not enough.
I think he didn't take orders for about 4 months, and I had ordered these, and he emailed me about. He emailed me 43 days ago and said it'll take me 40 days to get them to you, and true enough, they arrived on Friday.
It's so good, but he's another one. So we're lucky in the UK. I mean, even Monty's guitars, I practically bought everything the man's put out. But you got him, you got Sunbear pickups, the Creamery. There's a few others as well. It's at the minute the pickup world in the UK is unbelievable. I think we've probably got one over on the Americans. I mean, I know they've got like Throwback or whatever.
We've got Lawler, we've got Lindy Fralin,
Yeah, but I almost feel like
we've
Lawler
got-
are now mainstream now.
Yeah, I mean, he still does, you know, unique, like one-off stuff, and then we've got some other people that, you know, are out there. It's just, I think, you know, for the pickup world, it's just so hard to compete anymore because there are so many people doing it. Like
100%.
It became, you know, kind of obvious. It's like all you need is like something that goes spin, 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 a little patience and the ability to solder.
I mean, it's funny, like you mentioned Throwback. If you watch like any of the Throwback videos, like the length they will go to get this, like they even bought the Gibson winder.
Well, mate, I had to set it at cost pickups because, I don't know if anyone knows Chris Blakely, so he goes by Fried Okra online. He owns Cos's original guitar, and so he bought like number 2 of my Kossoff drives. Didn't know who he was. I think it was selling for 80 quid at the time, and he just bought it, and I was like, wow, that was fast. Sent it to America, and then about 3 weeks after I'd sent it, he sent me a picture of the Kos pedal on top of the original guitar. Like, come on now. Yeah. But anyway, so Throwback sort of inspected his pickups and then made a recreation, and they were considerable amounts of money. I paid less for guitars, but I was like, I have to buy them. I have to. I'm a massive Kos fan.
So you actually bought a set of Throwbacks?
Yeah, I've had about 4 sets. Yeah.
Wow.
But the Kos ones are about 600 quid, and then you've got to get them posted to you.
Yeah.
But I put them in a Flying V that I made myself. I should never have sold that guitar, but I sold it and stupidly left the pickups in it, which was a mistake. Yeah.
If you're ever in Edinburgh, please bring your guitar with your Throwback pickups.
Yeah, I'll definitely, mate.
Do it,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, next time I do travel to Scotland quite a bit because I've got family up there, but I'm more the other side. But yeah, Edinburgh is such a good place. Like, if you're going out for a beer, like the centre of Edinburgh is just such a lovely. Like,
it's really good because it's within like almost a square mile. Like, you know, you don't have to travel far.
Like Rose Street, I think it was called.
Yeah.
Lovely. But yeah, I was based up in Rosyth for quite a while.
Oh, in Fife.
Not in. Where's the place you get off? Yeah, it's Inverkeven. Yeah, so you get off. What's the train station there?
North Queensferry.
Nah, it's a different one. Different train station. What is it called? Can't remember anyway. But there's some good pubs there. Good in literally Rosyth Naval Base at Naval Dockyard. Fantastic place.
It's funny, like if you live in Edinburgh and you get to a high point, you can look over the Firth to Fife, and we always say like, don't go there. never go there.
There's a pub called the Gladger. Absolutely fantastic pub. It's like an old working man's pub for the dockyard workers. And we all piled in there one time, and there's a load of Marines in there drunk. And one of them says, "Where were you guys in the Gulf War?" And one guy stands up and says, "How many warships you seen in the Gulf War?" Think he's out at carnage. Absolutely love it. And that was like my first couple of weeks in the Navy. Brilliant.
Right. It's funny, like in the early 80s, like the Rosyth Naval Club was like a gig on like a touring band's gigging circuit. Like bands would go and play there. Like Bernie Tormé would play there and stuff like that. It's crazy.
I think it's Dunfermline train station that you come off in.
Dunfermline's okay. It's got an abbey. It's nice.
Yeah. And there's some nice pubs there. There's one called the Creepy Wee Pub. This little tiny, you can barely even get in there. In fact, I've got the best tattoo I've ever got was in Dunfermline, mate. I sat down in this tattoo thing. Everyone booked in. I went in first, sat down. The guy puts the stencil on, and then he goes to the tattoo, but he's cross-eyed and he's looking over there. And I was like, oh God, I'm in trouble. And everyone else just left. So like, nah, I don't want a tattoo anymore. I've got this fish on my chest. It's terrible. But yeah, I got that. Well, yeah, I didn't play guitar when I was there, so I didn't really go and watch any music. But what if you want to go out drinking, Edinburgh, all that area, Scotland is like the nicest place you could visit.
It's good. It's good. It's funny how Craze Fandango said anybody apart from me and Dunsy heard of Bernie Tormé. Bernie, one of my most favourite guitar players and such a lovely chap. I think 6 years ago, I think he died now.
What sort of music are we talking about here?
He was in Gillan. He was in the band Gillan
Okay.
He filled in for Randy Rhoads when Randy died.
Yeah.
He did I think 7 gigs in March 82, and just a lovely guy, big Hendrix fan. In his last sort of 10 years, he was like just doing stuff on an independent label and just touring kind of small venues. So we'd go and see him in Edinburgh, and he would spend like 2 hours after every gig just speaking to people, taking their Gillan albums, and he was just a lovely chap.
Nice.
Filling in for old Randy Rhoads, you've got to have some chops there, right?
It was crazy, man. He was completely the wrong person to do it.
Yeah.
He was not of that style of playing at all, but the Jet management got him in, and he went across to the US and did sort of 7 or 8 gigs, and it was
to finish out the tour.
Well, I think he called it a day after Madison Square Gardens, and Brad Gillis started. He filled in after that
until he could. Yeah.
Oh man, that's it.
Yeah.
What time to be alive? I always say that I wish I was around like in my prime, like early 20s in the 70s, like the very early 70s would have been the time for music for me. And then you could have seen through the 80s.
But the other side of that is you now be 80.
I know, but imagine what life you'd have had.
Nah.
The music.
I have a lot of friends, that were in their 20s in the 70s, and man, the stuff that they have to put up with now for what they did then.
Yeah, but we'd all put up with that at some point. And what did I have growing up? The Spice Girls. Come on, mate.
One of them, wrote a song about it. Said, if I'd have known I'd live this long, I'd have taken better care of myself.
Yeah.
Or worse, and then you won't live that long.
Well, yeah.
I think for me,
live fast, die
up,
young, leave a good-looking corpse. That was the '80s motto, I think.
Well, I grew up with Oasis, so it really was Oasis saved guitar, and then guitar come back for a little bit, and then it went away again. That's my childhood. Imagine being around when, Free or Backstreet Crawler. Imagine seeing Backstreet Crawler in that's your window. That must be like
yeah. I mean, it's all different. My auntie saw the Kinks in 1964 or something.
Yeah.
But she's now 78.
Yeah.
And needs help going to the toilet. So it's like.
We're all going to be there, mate. We're all going to be there.
One day.
The only thing you can do is marry a younger woman and hope she takes care of you. Like my wife is 10 years younger than me. I'm happy with that.
Mine's only 5, so that's okay.
Oh, man. Right, well, I think that is us calling time now, judging off our view count. Thank you very much, everyone who's been in the chat. I've ignored the chat because I've been so involved. I'm going to go away now and buy myself a banana guitar. I've been Hello Sailor Joe.
I've been John Mulholland, Space Wolf.
And I've been Dunsys Guitar World.
Cheers. Oh, man, that was weird. We
dropped Dunsy.
He's gone.
Hey.
We dropped down to seven viewers, and I was like, okay, time to call it. And now and then we went up to 16. Wait, they were still on the stream.